Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to our regular monthly board meeting tonight. Glad all of you come out. I guess we're giving away prizes or something to people out in the hall. Dr. Gandy's in charge of that. I hope you did bring them. Okay, good deal. But anyway, we're always glad for everybody to come out. This is certainly what we look forward to recognize our employees and students and some of you that's done special things throughout the month. And also we have a scout troop. I think it's Scout Troop 518 out of Red Cross. Where you guys at? I hear you're coming to watch how this board meeting, you earned a badge for coming out tonight or something? I mean, you're gonna learn a lot. This board actually, so we gotta be on our best behavior.
Okay.
Fred knows a lot of these guys, and we have promised them that we won't do anything to disappoint you tonight or scare you, so. I don't know if you guys, there's National Scout Day. Have you ever, or a big thing at the North Carolina Transportation Museum on March the 4th. I know some of you guys ever went to that or not, but that's a really cool day, and you can look online and see that. I was noticing it the other night, but it's a pretty big event for scouts and all to go to. And earlier tonight we had our work session, and a lot of exciting things coming to our school system. But while that was going on, I received an email. Basically, one of the things we do at the board meeting that we started back during COVID, things are kind of upside down, and we always had a moment of silence, but we started having a prayer at our meeting. So there was an email come out earlier tonight. So if you're listening, we're not stopping the prayer just because you want to send an email out. So I'm not going to cow down to somebody from another state that wants to try to intimidate anyone in our school system or our county and make us do something that I don't believe in, and say, you know what, well, you can bring it as far as I'm concerned, because we're not going to cow down to you. At this time, I'd like to ask Mike Sink to say our prayer for tonight.
Lord, thank you for the gathering of these young men and young ladies and their achievements throughout this year, and the gathering of our board members, and that they may guide and direct our schools throughout this year. And dear Lord, be with, guide, and direct us throughout the year. I ask all this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we'd ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, our superintendent, Dr. Stephen Gain, will share some comments.
Thank you, Mr. Cook and board members. Just want to share some things that have been going on since our last board meeting. Several events throughout the school system I had a chance to attend. On the 18th of January, I had a chance to attend a multilingual learning night at Liberty Elementary School, and I want to take a moment and thank Roxanne Taylor and the staff at Liberty Elementary for putting this event together. It was a great event. Got to meet a lot of parents in our school system connected to Liberty Elementary School. Also, the 26th of January, I had a great night at Southmont Elementary School. Their esteemed carnival night. Again, staff did a great job, parents, kids everywhere. It's been quite interesting to watch a year later, and our events are back in play, and schools are full of parents and children at these events. On the 2nd of February, I had a chance to go to a science night event at Trinidad Elementary School. The 3rd of February was quite a busy day, as we had first semester award ceremony for grade 8 at Southeastern Randolph Middle School. I think I saw James Johnson here earlier tonight. Staff did a great job there. I left there and went over to Southwestern Randolph Middle School. Michael Crider and his staff did a great job with their first semester award assembly for grade 8. And I ended my day, I think Beth Davis is in the room, at Tabernacle Elementary School for the award ceremony for grades K2. Just exciting to see our kids recognized. It's exciting to see our schools full of adults not only our staff, but our parents being back in our schools. So thank you to everybody who attends those events and supports your children. On the 7th of February, we had our annual spelling bee. I want to say a big thank you to Journey Church and Randy Kelly for always letting us use this facility. It's a wonderful facility. And I want to congratulate Zoe Holmes, 6th grade student at Southeastern Randolph Middle School. She won our annual spelling bee, and she will be going to Charlotte, I think on May 5. Tim, I may have the wrong date, but I think I'm not May 5, March 5. But Zoe, and like many other children, were spelling words I didn't even know existed when we got deep into the spelling bee. After about the second round, I was done. I would have been out. But at any rate, it was a great night. On February 9th, I had a chance to go to a Way to Grow award ceremony for grade 3 at Hopewell Elementary School, and another great event. 10th, got a chance to attend a grade 3-5 award ceremony at Franklin Elementary School, and then on the 16th, just last week, I had a chance to go to a science night event at Level Cross. Was concerned at that event because the children are talking about snow. We're not seeing snow. They want snow. I don't want snow, and I think they know that. So I was getting confronted with that quite often in that building. I also want to take a moment on the 28th of January. It always turns out to be a special Saturday in our school system when we culminate in the middle school sports season for the winter. That morning I started at Wheatmore High School and saw Southeastern Randolph Middle School win the middle school wrestling tournament. And that night ended my night at Eastern Randolph High School with Randall Middle School girls winning the middle school tournament and Southwestern Randolph Middle School boys winning the middle school tournament for the boys. I also want to take a moment and thank some teachers, Randall Middle School, 5th grade teachers, Farmer Elementary School, 1st and 3rd grade teachers, Liberty Elementary School, was there last week reading. All these classes I got a chance to read in. Just want to thank pre-K and 1st grade and 4th grade teacher for allowing me to be in their classrooms, and then ended my week with at Tabernacle Elementary School, and I thought that book was quite interesting. It was sent to me by the teachers. It was titled When Will It Snow? And I had to get them to promise that they want me to read that they would not wish for snow, and they did not promise me that. Also want to take a moment. We had our work session today. David Cross, our director of CTE, presented some great ideas that are coming in the near future in some of our schools, and then there'll be a wraparound in the next year at some of our other high schools. And it's only fitting that February is Career and Technical Education Month, and I just want to say a big thank you to all the school level staff members in CTE, as well as the Central Service staff members who make that program great. Our Career Technical Education programs are strong, and it has a lot to do with our children, and it has a lot to do with our staff. Finally, board members, I just want to make a note that our staff, I want to follow up on something from our last meeting. Our staff has continued to investigate the issues shared at the Board of Education meeting on January 9 regarding the Spanish immersion program at Hopewell Elementary School. A lot of information has been and will continue to be analyzed in relation to the personnel issues with this program. And in fact, this program has included work with attorneys, and we have made good progress in this area. So I just wanted to conclude my comments with that, board members. I know a lot of things come up. We had some comments in public comment last board meeting, and I do sincerely appreciate your trust in our staff handling things, whether it be Central Service staff and school level, or Central Service, and this is a kind of combination. Again, many things are school level and Central Service working together, but I can assure you that there has been a lot of work done since we left the boardroom on January 9 in relation to this, and we will continue on. Thank you, Andrea Foxworth, for your work with this, because Andrea has been very involved and has been keeping me up to date as well as we move through this process. So this concludes my comments, board members.
And we appreciate the work you guys have done on that too. I couldn't help but notice, Dr. Gainey, I'm speaking for all these kids out here. I know she mentioned snow 3 or 4 times, and since they know we all have 5 days backed up, they wondered if you want to be nice and show how much you think of them, and just give them one of those days to vacate. A snow day. I mean, did you like snow so much? I mean,
All right, for the public record, you kids out there, we don't have 5 days. We got 4. We cleared that up in the work session that I was a math teacher. We got 4 days.
okay.
But I've been, Mr. Cook, it's interesting. There have been more than one occasion when I've gone to schools, and I've had teachers come up to me, and I thought we were just gonna talk about something exciting in their classroom, and they told me that they would like me to use extreme flexibility with those 4 days this winter. So I don't know what that means now that you brought it to the board.
Well, I was just thinking there's a long stretch between now and, I mean, you know, I mean,
Every day.
we're in the giving here, I mean.
Every day we're getting closer to Christmas.
Yes. I just opened it up, didn't I?
forgot we used some of that in the hurricane.
We did use some of a hurricane, and we could have, we used one. Anyway, I was just feeling like a kid. I know what I would be thinking if I was you guys. Okay. You want me to move on now, right? Okay, let's move on. Move on to the recognitions. I'm in trouble now. Yeah, we don't have. Oh, let's approve the minutes. See, I'm all messed up. I need a motion to approve the January 9th, 2023 minutes.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we're gonna move on for the most important parts of the night. Team movement.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Very kind of you.
Remember that time I called you Dr. Moody? I mean, I'm trying to be your
That's
best.
okay, you can do that.
Sharon, you do know that the reason we picked you, you have to spell the word.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cook.
Yes, anytime.
And good evening to you and all of the board members and Dr. Gainey, to all of our guests. We have a large number of recognitions this evening, which is good, as evidenced by the overflow crowd that we have, so I'm going to jump right in. Randolph County School System 2022-2023 Spelling Bee was held on February 7th at Journey Church in Ashboro. 24 Spelling Bee winners from our elementary schools and our middle schools competed in the event. Our school district Spelling Bee winner, as Dr. Gainey mentioned, advances to the regional Spelling Bee at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte on March 5th. And then the winner there will then participate in the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. on June the 1st and 2nd. So as I call out our Spelling Bee winner's name, and she comes forward to receive her trophy and her pride and RCSS certificate, anyone here in support of the winner is welcome to stand. Congratulations to our Spelling Bee winner for the 2022-2023 school year, 6th grader Zoe Holmes from Southeastern Randolph Middle School.
Hey, what was the word that you wanted? Do you know? What was the word that you spelled to win it? What was it?
Maniacal.
Can you use it in a
Thank
sentence
you.
for?
Okay, next up. Earlier this month, Jahir Contreras Cuevas, who's a 10th grade student at Trinity High School, had the honor of performing at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Jahir was one of only 2 students from North Carolina selected to participate in the High School Honors Performance Series. This series was established to feature talented student musicians in a once-in-a-lifetime performance on stage at Carnegie Hall. This opportunity is made possible by support and nominations from music educators across the world. Selection for the High School Honors Performance Series requires nomination from a music professional. College professors, school teachers, private instructors, and other music professionals are eligible to make nominations, and music directors from across the world recognize and nominate their most talented performers. Applicants submit a completed application form, a performer biography, and an audition recording. For his audition, Jahir was required to learn a tuba solo. Completed applications are reviewed by an expert board of music professionals, and selected musicians are assigned to ensembles based upon instrumentation requirements. Jahir's band teacher at Trinity High School is Joshua Dickens. So this evening, we want to recognize Jahir Contreras Cuevas for this special honor. So Jahir, if you would, please come forward so that we may present you with a Pride and RCSS certificate, and anyone here in support of Jahir is welcome to stand. All right, up next, we're going to recognize some athletic accomplishments. At the North Carolina High School Athletic Association's Girls Wrestling Invitational on February 3rd and 4th, Bliss Joyce became the first girl ever from Trinity High School to place in state competition in wrestling. Bliss finished 4th in the state in the 132-pound division. The first day of competition took place at the Rice Athletic Complex in Bermuda Run, and the championship round on day 2 took place at the Greensboro Coliseum Fieldhouse. The Invitational featured 16 female wrestlers in each of 12 weight classes. So Bliss Joyce, if you would, please come forward so that we may present you with a certificate, and anyone here in support of Bliss is welcome to stand. And just as a footnote, if you follow high school wrestling at all, you know this past weekend was the boys' state competition, and we have a large number of guys that we will be recognizing at next month's Board of Education meeting. All right, so moving from one sport to another, the North Carolina High School Athletics Association 1A/2A Indoor Track and Field State Championship were held on February the 11th at JDL Fast Track in Winston-Salem. And Anaya Mitchell of Round High School finished 3rd in the state in the girls' shot put. So at this time, Anaya, if you would, please come forward to receive your certificate and have your photo taken as well. And as she comes forward, anyone here in support of Anaya is welcome to stand. Congratulations. Each year, the Piedmont Triad Education Consortium, known as PTEC, honors schools from 18 school systems throughout our region that have exemplified excellence and experienced significant improvement in the last 12 months. Designated as signature schools, these schools will be recognized at the annual PTEC Signature Schools Awards Breakfast on Thursday, March 9th on the University of North Carolina at Greensboro campus. Some indicators that apply to a signature school include a school that has implemented innovative practices to increase the academic achievement of all students, a school that has documented increases in measurable outcomes, a school in which positive change is not merely affecting one classroom or grade level, but is systemic throughout the school, a school in which the overall quality of teaching has continued to improve as measured by observations, peer evaluations, etc., and a school that has successfully engaged the support of parents and the community to accomplish the school's goals. At this time, we would like to recognize our 2 signature schools for the 2022-2023 school year. As I call the school name and the school representatives come forward to receive their certificate, anyone here in support of the school is welcome to stand. Our first signature school is Tabernacle Elementary School, Principal Beth Davis. Assistant Principal Brittany Teague. And lead teacher Paige Motley. Congratulations. And our other signature school is Wheatmore Middle School, Principal Dr. Bruce Carroll. And Assistant Principal Melanie Cronin. And congratulations to you as well. All right, it is now time to recognize our star employees for February. You may or may not be familiar with this award, but what the star employee is, it's The award recognizes school employees who take responsibility, exhibit good character, and serve students on an ongoing basis. Each of our 32 schools award 2 star employees each school year. Awards are presented to the star employees at our monthly Board of Education meetings from September through February. For the 5th year in a row, Vicki Gallimore of Remax Central Realty serves as our sponsor of these awards. She purchases all 64 plaques that we will hand out this year, and we are certainly grateful for her continued support. Star employees, as I call your name, please come forward to receive your plaque. As the award recipient comes forward, anyone here in support of the employee is welcome to stand. And again, employees, want to ask you to remain standing at the front and until everyone has come forward, and you will have an opportunity to take some photos. We will begin with Coleridge Elementary School, Chris Marley. Chris Marley has been a true leader within our school this year. She's taken on teaching a 4th grade classroom as well as continuing with her lead teacher duties. Ms. Marley is a talented teacher who has built strong relationships with students and families. She has continued to create strong relationships with our staff members as a lead teacher while leading them through staff development, collaborative team teaching sessions, and many after-school meetings. She has gone above and beyond to assist teachers while maintaining the classroom. Coleridge Elementary School is proud to recognize Chris Marley as our star employee for February. From Eastern Randolph High School, Britt Allen. Britt Allen boasts the only high school dance program in the district, providing unique opportunities for beginning, intermediate, and advanced dance instruction at Eastern Randolph High School. This co-ed dance program explores a large variety of dance styles and offers students an outlet for expression and performance unique to our school. Ms. Allen sponsors an after-school performance group, Catalyst, for students who wish to advance their performance skills. This year, Mrs. Allen and her students were invited by State Superintendent Catherine Truitt to perform at the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, which resulted in a standing invitation for future performances. Ms. Allen fosters a diverse, culturally inclusive learning environment and encourages all students to reach outside their comfort zones. Eastern Randolph High School is proud to recognize Britt Allen as our star employee for February. From Farmer Elementary School, Alice Davis. Alice Davis is a bright light that shines at Farmer Elementary School every day. She goes above and beyond her job responsibilities as the assistant manager in our cafeteria and constantly builds relationships with students and staff. Each morning, Mrs. Davis can be found greeting students at the breakfast cart and sending them to class with a smile and a word of encouragement. It is very evident that Mrs. Davis loves what she does. We are so blessed to have Alice Davis as part of our Farmer Elementary School family and are proud to recognize her as our star employee for February. From Seagrove Elementary School, Wendy Allman. Wendy Allman, Seagrove Elementary School's Assistant Child Nutrition Manager, is always willing to help no matter what, both in the school and on the bus. She makes sure children get their breakfast each morning and always has a smile on her face. This is Ms. Allman's first year at our school, and she quickly gained a positive rapport with all staff and students. Seagrove Elementary School is proud to call Wendy Allman our star employee for February. From Southeastern Randolph Middle School, Brittany Williams. Brittany Williams is an encouragement to both students and staff. She is the first one to hype you up, support you, and encourage you to do your best. Ms. Williams has taken on the role of the 6th grade advancement via individual determination elective teacher and changed her position in the middle of the school year due to staff changes. This year, she has taught math, science, social studies, and language arts to our 6th grade students. Ms. Williams has taken on many other responsibilities and obstacles that are not required of her job to support our school and students. She labors tirelessly for her students and co-workers to make our school a better place for all. She is the epitome of a Wildcat. Southeastern Randolph Middle School is proud to say that Brittany Williams is our star employee for February. From Southmont Elementary School, Amy Cruthus. Amy Cruthus is always kind and helpful to all around her. She approaches her role as a reading specialist with enthusiasm and a high level of expertise. Mrs. Cruthus supports our school's multi-tiered system of supports process as a team leader. She is a great co-worker and team player and truly has the students' best interests at heart in everything she does. She is one of the first to step in wherever help is needed, and she makes a difference every day. Amy Cruthus is a valued member of the Southmont Elementary School community, and we are proud to honor her as our star employee for February. From Southwestern Randolph High School, James Needham. James Needham is passionate, dedicated, and committed to the success of his students both in the classroom and on the playing field. He splits his day between math and physical education and is a standout in each department. Mr. Needham arrives at school early each day, running the weight room for student athletes, and remains after school as a coach for football and track. He routinely checks in on former and current students who count on Mr. Needham's patient guidance and support. Mr. Needham is a student favorite and a team player who does whatever is needed, even if it means stepping outside of his comfort zone. His Cougar Connections and enrichment activities are among the most requested activities because students trust him and know they will have a great time. Congratulations to James Needham, Southwestern Randolph High School star employee for February. From Southwestern Randolph Middle School, Belinda Allred. Belinda Allred is a physical education teacher and also our school's athletic director. She demonstrates commitment to our students through her dedication to our various athletic teams and is always willing to serve as a substitute bus driver when needed to take students home safely. Mrs. Allred maintains excellent rapport with students and promotes a team approach in collaborating with her colleagues on planning school events and activities. She has even introduced some students to the world of cooking during the school's Cougar Time block. Belinda Allred has a consistently positive impact on her students and her colleagues at Southwestern Randolph Middle School, and that is why she has been named our star employee for February. From Tabernacle Elementary School, Patricia Stargard. Head custodian Tricia Stargard takes pride in her work and gives more than is ever asked or expected. She wears many hats and goes above and beyond to make sure the school looks amazing and is well maintained. She truly cares about the school, students, and staff. Ms. Stargard is always happy no matter what is on her plate and is loved by students and staff. She builds strong relationships with students, loves to interact with them, and encourages them to do their best. Ms. Stargard greets students each morning, makes sure they have a smile on their face, and helps out wherever needed. She is a respectful leader, great team player, and definitely a role model employee. We are lucky to have Patricia Stargard at Tabernacle Elementary School and are proud to select her as our star employee for February. From Uwharrie Ridge 612, Adrian Green. Adrian Green, an exceptional children's teacher at Uwharrie Ridge 612, is hardworking, kind, and a lifelong learner. She helps our school in many ways. Mrs. Green is a certified reading specialist, holds a license in deaf education, helps in the community with sign language when needed, and recently gained national board certification. She also finds the time to help tremendously with our parent-teacher organization as she is a wonderful mother of 2 great kids. If there is an event happening on our campus, Mrs. Green is there supporting our students, and she makes our school a better place. Congratulations to Adrian Green, Uwharrie Ridge 612 star employee for February. And from the Virtual Academy at Randolph, Carrie Pugh. Carrie Pugh, the first official employee hired by Principal Justine Carter at the Virtual Academy at Randolph in 2021, truly does it all. She literally does the job of 3 people: data manager, treasurer, and receptionist, and usually all at one time. More importantly, Mrs. Pugh keeps us all on track and smiling every day. She greets visitors to the main office with a smile and genuine words of kindness, and never hesitates to stop any of her 3 jobs to put the needs of others first. Mrs. Pugh is selfless, genuine, and hardworking, and always takes time to find answers or solutions. Beyond her official jobs, she takes time to organize fellowship opportunities for the staff, which give her a reason to bring us her famous cakes and sweet treats. And as Voyagers, the North Star is crucial to us finding our way. Mrs. Pugh is definitely the North Star for our staff. The Academy would not be what it is today without her. The Virtual Academy at Randolph is proud to select Carrie Pugh as our star employee for February. So what we're going to do now is get an official photo. Ms. Fowler's going to get that. You may want to form 2 lines so we can get everybody in. And anybody have a Ms. Fowler back or photo? Anybody can do that. All right, y'all can come up and take pictures if you want to. Get out of the way.
I know you like it. Just working on it. Remember that time when we started out to make it? You wouldn't go out and make the stuff then when your kids bought this electric. Everybody here is thinking, you know, that's a great PR.
Hey, we don't have to, we lose about 4 jobs, and she's good at teaching.
Oh, I know. I'll tell you what, that's a cool deal what she's doing there. Do that, that's amazing.
All right, we are going to close out our recognitions now by meeting our Star 3 students for the month of February. The Star 3 program honors students who are respectful, responsible, and doing the right thing. The criteria for selection to be a Star 3 student could include being a role model for others, making positive accomplishments inside and outside of school, good attendance, passing grades in spite of obstacles in life, good behavior, and nomination from a faculty member. We again want to extend our gratitude to our Star 3 sponsor, Wayne Thomas Chevrolet. Wayne Thomas Chevrolet will purchase the 96 Star 3 student plaques that we hand out this school year, so we are certainly grateful for that. And now for the presentation of the Star 3 award students. As I call your name, please come to the front to receive your plaque. And just like our adults did, remain at the front until everyone has come forward, and we will give parents and anyone else an opportunity to take photos at the end. So we will begin with Coleridge Elementary School, first grader Harrison Chief. Harrison Chief can be seen throughout the day working hard on any task that is given. He always keeps track of what he is supposed to be doing and even reminds staff of what needs to be done. Harrison is such a good classroom helper and always has a positive attitude. He gets along well with all of his classmates and offers to help them as well. Harrison exhibits all of our Coleridge expectations. He is responsible, organized, caring, and kind. Coleridge Elementary School is proud to announce Harrison Chief as our Star 3 student for February. From Eastern Randolph High School, 12th grader Noah Yarbrough. Noah Yarbrough's passion is JROTC, through which he has learned valuable life and leadership skills. The discipline and hard work instilled through JROTC have helped Noah become cadet, command sergeant major, Raider commander, and color guard commander. In the county Raider competition, Noah won overall first place and 2 individual awards. He also has earned academic honors and plans to attend Appalachian State University and participate in its ROTC program. After college, Noah plans to enlist in the military. He was a member of the varsity football team, has shown great leadership in our school and community. Eastern Randolph High School is proud of Noah Yarbrough and his commitment to serve our school, community, and country. And we are honored to select him as our Star 3 student for February. From Farmer Elementary School, second grader Braxton Cumbie. Braxton Cumbie is an amazing role model for his classmates. He is always on task and trying his best. Braxton is kind and helpful to others. Even though others may try to distract him, he remains focused and does not let others interfere with his own success. He is determined to be the very best he can be. Braxton always has a smile on his face, and it is a joy to watch him fly high as a Farmer Falcon. Farmer Elementary School is proud to have Braxton Cumbie as our Star 3 student for February. From Seagrove Elementary School, third grader Jackson Owens. Jackson Owens is a very well-rounded, hard-working student at Seagrove Elementary School. He is always helpful and respectful to his peers and adults. Jackson goes above and beyond in assuring everyone feels included. His positive disposition is a breath of fresh air to everyone. Seagrove Elementary School is proud to call Jackson Owens our Star 3 student for February. From Southeastern Randolph Middle School, 8th grader Daisha Isley. Daisha Isley is a sweet young student with an amazingly positive attitude. She enjoys school and always tries her best in every class. She completes with a smile any task asked of her. Her work ethic and desire have helped her achieve honor roll status. Daisha enjoys helping others and participating in classroom discussions. She genuinely cares about the people around her and playing a role in their successes. Daisha is cooperative, attentive, trustworthy, and respectful. She is a true Wildcat. Southeastern Randolph Middle School is proud to say that Daisha Isley is our Star 3 student for February. From Southmont Elementary School, 4th grader Kyle Bradley. Kyle Bradley has worked so hard this year. He always comes to class and is ready to work. Kyle puts forth his very best effort in each and every activity. He has overcome many obstacles, and he never lets difficulties and challenges stop him from doing the right thing. Kyle, perhaps without even knowing it, shows others how to be a good leader. He also shows kindness to others every day. Kyle is deserving of this recognition because of these attributes. Southmont Elementary School is proud to honor Kyle Bradley as our Star 3 student for February. From Southwestern Randolph High School, 12th grader Jonathan Allred. Jonathan Allred is a hard-working, independent young man who balances school and work with a positive attitude and determination. He is focused on his future and knows and does what is needed to be successful. Jonathan sets goals for himself and works hard to accomplish these goals. He manages his many responsibilities well with a maturity that is beyond his years and does not let discouragement get in his way. Jonathan always seeks to make the best out of even difficult situations. He is respectful, well-liked by his teachers and classmates, and sets a positive example for others. For these reasons and more, Southwestern Randolph High School celebrates Jonathan Allred as our Star 3 student for February. From Southwestern Randolph Middle School, 8th grader Holly Uribe. Holly Uribe is an exceptional student. She is polite to everyone she meets and is always willing to help others out when she can. Holly is an active member of the Junior Beta Club and the middle school band. She also has an interest in art and helped create the school's Junior Beta Club 2-dimensional design, which is a banner for the state competition. Holly maintains a high average in all of her classes. She is a student who exemplifies hard work and respect. Southwestern Randolph Middle School is proud to call Holly Uribe our Star 3 student for February. From Tabernacle Elementary School, 3rd grader Calix Donathan. Calix Donathan is a tender-hearted student with a heart of gold who comes to school every day with a happy, positive energy. He shares his kindness with everyone. In the classroom, he does his work to the best of his ability every day. If he sees others having a hard day, Calix is always there to help or make them smile. He is full of compliments and encouragement for his fellow classmates and teachers. He has made much progress, keeps a smile on our face, and keeps us laughing. Calix shoots for the stars in everything he does and always tries harder if he seems to be struggling. He is courteous and shows good manners in the classroom. We are proud to have Calix Donathan as a student at Tabernacle Elementary School and congratulate him on being our Star 3 student for February. From Uwharrie Ridge 612, 10th grader Haley Cranford. Good moral character, active listener, and genuine are words that encapsulate Haley Cranford. Haley goes above and beyond in almost every aspect. She consistently produces detailed, high-quality work submitted either on time or ahead of schedule. Haley helps teachers with projects and errands throughout the school. She engages in school functions and is an active member of her church community. Haley is also a member of the Student Leadership Program, in which students are tasked with completing a large service project. Haley's project is collecting infant items for Your Choices Randolph. Haley maintains a smile and cheer each day, has a great sense of humor, and keeps a positive attitude that lifts up those around her. Haley Cranford is an ideal student, strong role model, and a wonderful human being. And Uwharrie Ridge 612 is proud to select her as our Star 3 student for February. And finally, from the Virtual Academy at Randolph, 6th grader Jesse Duva. Jesse Duva is a hard worker. He is a testament to the adage, hard work beats talent when talent stops working hard. Jesse is always willing to dedicate time before or after school for tutoring. He has a willingness to learn and grow. Jesse is also uplifting to his classmates and teachers. He always encourages his classmates through the classic thumbs up emoji or sending encouraging messages through the Google chat. Jesse is an awesome big brother. He has been known to rock his baby brother to sleep while engaging in his core classes. Overall, Jesse is a kind-hearted, hard-working, compassionate student. We are proud to have Jesse Duva as the Star 3 student for the Virtual Academy at Randolph for February. All right, so I want to come together. Mrs. Fowler is going to get the official photo, and then we'll give you all opportunities to take pictures.
You need them to move in?
You get them, Gregory? You want to put them 2 lines?
2 lines? You, hey, why don't you come up to the front row? You come up to the front. There you go.
Harrison is back gone.
Now, when the first kid comes up, then they had to give out the
Well, they get to sit in the
Just Whitaker.
The joys that you have.
Everybody? All right. Thank you, well done. And that concludes our time of recognition. Thank you.
Now she's doing it.
Tracy, best PTO president, right? No, look, we were talking, who was it? Someone that works on your, or that works on the fire department, goes to church, and now we started going to Browners, and he's like, I think I ran a call down here, your radio one time, and I said, listen, I think God, Tracy loves me, so he didn't walk Lee up for something. Something good for fire. Good to see you.
She had a confession, I think. Stop taking on the air.
Thank you for the flag.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I mean, like, I say amazing place. And they did. Yeah, he set some good goals. I hear you, man. Yeah. And they were arrested the next day.
I wouldn't think them.
Yeah. Thank you, Noah.
Well, thank y'all.
Switch seats. Get the big number quicker. That's right.
I tried to explain it to
I got mine.
I have a question with you.
I'm scared to stir stuff up. Justin, Gary. You just stir a pot.
I just stir up the troublemaker. I learned it from Fred.
We should have used the incentives.
We gotta get you another name, because I lose out. Well, it's Susan or Sharon. But when there's trouble, we always blame it on the other. Susan.
They start
So
calling.
Shannon, and we'll come up with a.
I don't pay attention.
I answer to Sharon or Susan. I answer to Shannon or Sharon.
Yeah. We were in here, Brian Vick, when they called her Susan. We kept,
Oh,
and then we
At
realized
this
it's
time,
not
Dr.
Sharon.
Gaines
We're like,
will
you
take
mean
over.
Sharon? He said, yeah, Sharon. I was like,
Okay, you ready?
Just
Okay,
answer.
I need a motion to adopt, we had no one sign up for public comments. Okay, so at this time I need a motion to adopt the meeting agenda.
So moved.
We have a second? All those in favor say aye. At this time we'll move to the information items with Dr. Gaines.
Okay, board members have several gifts to present to you tonight. The first gift is on January 10th. I received an email from Debbie Sharon regarding a gift from Caroline Wright with Modern Woodland of America in the amount of $3,500. And the use of this gift is unrestricted, so the school has flexibility to determine its use. And I accepted this gift on behalf of the school system on January 10. All of the gifts I'm presenting tonight are information items because they were $5,000 or less per board policy 8220. The next item is a gift to Level Cross Elementary School. On January 5, Kelly Harrell, principal of Level Cross Elementary School, made me aware of a gift given to her school by Newmarket Civitans, another $250 to be used to support families in need, and I accepted this gift on January 5 on behalf of the school system. The next memo has multiple gifts that I learned about on February 30 from Trinity Elementary School, Ginger Wright's principal. Anonymous donor donated $100 for student lunch charges. I accepted that gift on February 3. Another anonymous donor donated $40 to be used for student lunch charges, and I accepted this gift on February 3. And Janice Levesque donated $20 to be used for playground improvements, and I accepted that gift on February 3. And then Lowe's Foods of Archdale donated $485.72 to be used for school needs, and I accepted this gift on February 3. Next gift is to Trindale Elementary School. I learned on January 5 from Cindy Walker, principal of Trindale Elementary School, about a gift in the amount of $200 from Fuel Outdoor Gear in Archdale, and it was to be used for school lunch charges, and I accepted this gift on January 5. Next gift is to Uwari Ridge 612, February 3. Received an email from Brian Hill, principal of Uwari Ridge 612, regarding a gift given to a school by North Ridge Church in the amount of $1,500 to be used for the school's backpack program. I accepted this gift on February 3. And then lastly, the last memo is several gifts to Grace Chapel, and I was made aware of these during the January 6 to February 13 time period. First gift is Destination Heaven Ministries, donated $100 to be used for the school's Backpack Pals program. I learned of this gift on January 6th, and I accepted it on January 7th on behalf of the school system. Also, the next gift, Solid Rock Baptist Church, donated $600 to be used for the Backpack Pals program at school. Lori Johnson sent me an email on February 7. I accepted it on February 7. And then the third gift is Destination Heaven's Ministries gave another gift in the amount of $100 to be used for Backpack Pals program. And Lori Johnson made me aware of that on February 13. I accepted it on February 13. So those are your 6 memos for the gifts. And I don't know if I said for Solid Rock Baptist Church, their donation was for the Backpack Pals program. So any questions about those gifts, board members? All right, the next item I'd like to share. The next item I'd like to share is an information item, because in the coming months there'll be more specific information or more specific action taken. On January 9, I presented our local budget request to you and the county commissioners, and what we will be presenting in May. I do want to add one local request. I've had a lot of conversation in the last month and a half, and so I want to add a 4th current expense request. If you remember on January 9, there was 3 current expense requests, and I want to add a 4th one to those previous 3. And the new current expense request will be supplement increase for classified employees, 1.5%. The total cost of this additional current expense request will be $430,000. And if approved, it would take our supplement percentage for classified employees to 5.25%. Right now, it's 3.75%. I'll give you a little feedback on this issue. Prior to the 16-17 year, our classified employee supplement was 2.5% and had not moved since 2007. But the board's work at that time with the county commissioners got it moving like a lot of the other supplements. In fact, in 16-17, it moved 0.25%, 17-18, 0.25%, and then in 19-20, 2.25%. And then 21-22, you moved the classified supplement again by 0.5% to get us 3.75. If we come June, this gets approved, 1.5% above, again, it will get us to 5.25%. And I'm just going to say this about our classified employees. And I can go through, let me tell you who this does not apply to. So it will not apply to any certified staff, we're not talking about tonight. It will not apply to principals or assistant principals or directors or assistant directors or supervisors. Classified employees, and I'll go through a list in just a second if you'd like me to. But here's what I'd say about our classified employees. Many times when the state does raises, the classified employees get missed. We've talked about our 197, I think it is, locally paid employees, Todd. Most of them are classified employees. There are no teachers in local pay. There are no locally paid assistant principals, locally paid principals. So I feel very good about this additional request. We have a lot of workforce needs in the classified employee group. The classified employee group will include clerical, general office assistants, treasurers, data managers, administrative assistants, all central service clerical, warehouse staff, and delivery staff. It would include our custodians, our maintenance staff, our bus drivers, our bus monitors, our mechanics, and anybody else in the garage, teacher assistants, daycare staff, school nutrition, crisis intervention, distance learner, ISS coordinator, intervention assistant, occupational therapist, student advocates, and technology technicians. And I may have missed somewhere along the line, but just to give you a picture of what will be addressed with this fourth request. Again, we have some workforce needs, and we all know that. We're not unlike any other business. We are a business. We do have a business side, a strong business side. If you go in the building over there, one half of the building is HR and finance. And there's payroll, there's HR processes going on all day long in those areas. So I will say with this new current expense request, it would take our total request to the commissioners, and I'll present this in May, on May 30th. On January 9th, the total request was $998,000. On May 30th, the total request will be listed at $1,428,000 with this additional $430,000 on top. I will tell you this, with this move, as we get to next year this time, we'll be starting to work for 24-25 school year on looking at supplements across the board again like we have in the past. So I want to make you aware of that, this additional request. Tomorrow I will be sending an email to the commissioners with the revised local budget request document. I'll give you a copy of it tonight. It does have the, as you can see, let me pass this out. This document does have the original 3 requests, plus the supplement increase, item number 4, 1.5%, $430,000, and you see the new total at the bottom. Just to give you a point of reference, this will make a considerable supplement increase when you look at a $26,000 employee who was a 10-month full-time, he looks to increase their supplement by about $390 total. And I feel like that's a good move in the right direction there. Again, next year this time, we will be talking about supplement increases across the board, as has been a lot of our history of across the board with all groups. But want to make you aware of that. I will again communicate this to the commissioners as a group tomorrow, and we'll move forward, and I'll work throughout the spring as we get close to May 30th. And as I mentioned in the work session today, the budget approval will be on June 19th. That's the final budget approval, but I will formally present the budget with this included on May 30th. So, any questions?
So this is not any, this is just full-time employees?
You have to be 75% or more employed to get the supplement. So, so what I was referencing is, when I go to the 100% employed, with the $15 an hour, 100% employed, the lowest salary for classified at 100% employed is $26,200 a month. You know, obviously anything less than 100% brings it back down. But when you if you just figure that on the supplement increase on that, that's right at $390. And it takes our supplement from, I think we figured it takes it for that employee. Again, someone higher than that, it's gonna, the percentage, but it takes it from what is right now 3.75 to $26,000, $975 for supplement, to if this, we can get this 5.25% on, just as comparing apples to apples, that would take it 1,365. So that would make a major push, and as we're continuing to work in many of these support roles, we're continuing, Andrea's continuing to work, her and her staff, with Wendy Anderson on bus drivers, Dale and Andrea and Alicia Green, who's involved in all our classified hiring, are continuing to work with custodians. You know, we give the schools a chance to hire their open positions before we turn them over to the contract group. This place has a lot of impact. When you go inside the offices of the school offices, you know, you got the clerical, everybody. This 1.5 would apply to everybody. So we're going to move forward, and we're going to work at it and see what we can do moving forward. But again, next spring or next year this time, we'll be back to getting the teacher supplement moving. We moved to the point over several years, and we'll get moving on that and all the other supplements as well. So. And I did do a little, you know, Todd does a little chart for me every year, and if we can get this, we'll have, looks like our classified supplement for everybody that we have that kind of in the region, and or some comparative analysis we do, we'll be better than competitive. We'll probably have the best classified supplement for classified employees from what we know right now. So.
Before anybody calls tomorrow, we're requesting this, it hasn't been approved.
That's right. It will not be officially approved. Nothing we've done January 9th or this tonight will be approved officially until June 19th.
Yeah.
So now.
I didn't want anybody to think they're getting a raise coming next week.
And again, the three things on your chart already are, remember, the number one thing we have to get every time, and our commissioners are good about this, is they know we have to have the continuation costs, because anything without that just creates a budget hole for us. And then we go from there. So, much work to be done, many conversations to be had this spring, Mr. Burgess. But as I've said before, the January work session is kind of the kickoff, but budget season is underway for the 23-24 school year.
Thank you, Dr. Gann. We'll move on to finance and budget. Todd, you introduce us to,
Yes. Good evening.
and she smiles more than the other. So I'm thinking that's a good report when you smile, sit down, you know. I can tell by the way you look at us, you know, so we're looking forward to it.
Good evening, board members. I'd like to introduce Shannon Dennison from Anderson, Smith & White Certified Public Accountants. So she's here tonight to present the 21-22 audit report. And I would like to thank Shannon and her team for all the hard work, and they were very good to work with this past year. I'd also like to thank her for the flexibility and the understanding when I was out of the office for a while back in the summer. She kind of allowed us to put things on hold with the audit, so we really appreciate that. And, or we would have been doing this a lot earlier in February, but that was on me, not on them. But Shannon?
Chairman, board members, Dr. Gady, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to work with you all. Todd, Cheryl, and the team have been great at getting us the information that we needed. It's been a smooth transition. I'm a former finance officer, kind of turned auditor, so I understand kind of the role he's in and have appreciated all of their hard work. This year has been this past year and kind of going into this year has been exceptionally tough for finance with all of the ESSER money that has been received. It's a great blessing for the school system. It's also an administrative burden for the finance department. So I've heard from many finance officers that last year was the most challenging year of their career. And so commend Todd and his team for all that they've done. I'm going to highlight a couple of pages through the financial statements. If you guys have any questions, feel free to stop me. I'm happy to answer any questions. My contact information is also within the statements, so feel free to reach out at any time. The start of the audit report, I'm pleased to announce that our opinion for your financial statements is unmodified, which is the best opinion you can get. Kind of putting in school finance terms, it's an A+. So excellent job. Starting on page 4 of the statements is the management discussion and analysis. That is the portion of the report that Todd assists in completing and is kind of a high-level summary of the statements. You're fine. It'll be 6 of the PDF. I'll give you PDF numbers going forward. Sorry. Page 13 PDF is going to be Exhibit 1. We might have a different PDF from this one. 11. So Exhibit 1 and 2, pages 11 and 12, are going to be the government-wide statements. These statements and the position in these statements, we recommend really not focusing on. There's a lot of stuff in them related to retirement liabilities that the school system's really not going to ever be responsible for, but the standards that Wright Accounting make us put them in here. They're the first statements. So these are going to be more applicable to counties that can take out debt. And so for school systems, since you're not going to be taking out a bunch of loans or doing bonds, we recommend skipping to page 13. Page 13 and 14 are going to go through the various funds. And your unassigned fund balance is going to be kind of the highlighted number that I would say is the amount of money that you have kind of in your savings account that can be appropriated in your next year's budget. So in your general fund, it's $5.2 million. And in your capital outlay fund, you've got about $2.2 million. With the construction projects, I know that we're still kind of wrapping up at the end of the last fiscal year. Your general fund, you spent about $495,000. That's going to be on page 14 in the first column. Sorry, these ones are sideways on the PDF. So let's skip ahead to page 16. That'll be, I think the rest of the pages. I don't think any of the rest of them. Perfect. So this is gonna be your general fund. Exhibit 5 will be pages 16 through 18. And the big thing I want to point out here is gonna be your original budget, your final budget, and your actual. I'm pleased to announce that all of the expenditures came in within the budget that the board approved. So excellent job in fiscal management. Pages 19 through 22 are going to be child nutrition on page 21. Um, 21 is going to tell you really the healthy, how healthy your child nutrition program is. Last year, you gained $2.856 million in funds for child nutrition. Up one page. Perfect. So you have $6.9 million in cash in the child nutrition program. Last year was a little bit unique in that it was kind of continuing on from COVID, so all the students, if you remember, received free meals. The federal reimbursement rate was higher than in a normal year. So I would not expect that trend this year when they come and report next year's audit. I wouldn't ask and say, you know, why did we not get $2.9 million extra this year? It'll kind of go back to pre-COVID trends that last year was an exceptional year to be able to add cash into those balances without, and be able to use that into future years.
That 2.9 is already accounted for though as far as expenses on that though? As far as future expenses?
No.
It's not, okay.
That'll likely carry forward for a few years to be able to assist in the child nutrition program. It's difficult with the rising costs of, you know, things as well as food and supplies. Sometimes it can be difficult to run a child nutrition program at a profit and be able to keep the fees for parents reasonable.
We also have the concern about the recent legislation that requires the for indirect costs. It could be that'll be the other way around, but that would be on us.
But we're not restricted, it's already been spent, so I'm saying, like some of the other money
We
for
did not-
COVID
we
for
did
the
not.
next couple of years. though.
Yes, so the surplus, what I call the surplus from last year in child nutrition, we did not budget that out for
Okay.
in this year's budget. Now, Kelly might have some plans for it. But no, it's, yeah.
Shannon, I'd say you're the more accurate. I was thinking, I was on the wrong side of the fence, with my comment, but with the food prices, we don't know where that's gonna go.
Yeah, the food prices are going up. Like I said, this will be able to sustain, and one of the nice things about the child nutrition funds compared to maybe the other funds, it has to be spent within child nutrition, but there's no expiration date on it. You don't have to kind of create a plan to be able to spend it, renovating kitchens or anything, that it will be able to continue.
I'm just thankful it's pretty healthy right now, because it'll probably take a hit. I mean, they've done a good job of managing that and keeping it, I would hate to be going into child nutrition pretty close now. I would think you'd be in trouble. I'm glad that, I guess you planning for a rainy day is probably smart.
It's definitely a blessing, especially, I mean, they're getting notices all the time on contracts and bids that, you know, prices are going up because of the economy. Starting on page 23 is going to be the notes to the statement. It's going to have a lot of technical information as to how things are accounted for, so I'm not going to go through and read that. We might be here for a while. I'm going to skip to page 48. Sorry.
Like the way you're thinking.
It's good information, but everybody might want to go home tonight. This page 48, I do think is important. Oh, sorry, one more sideways page. I'll kind of tell you the pertinent information. So this page goes through the retirement portion, or the pension portion of the retirement contributions. So for every dollar that employees make, you have to contribute into the retirement plan. And this goes through the last 9 years, kind of the trend of what those percentages have been. So in 2014, the match that the district had to make was 8.69%. In 2022, the match for the pension portion was 16.38%. So that rate has essentially doubled in the last 9 years. And even looking from 2018 to 2022, almost every year it's gone up 2%, with the exception of 1 year. So with that increase, as the same dollar of payroll, the costs and expenditures, as we were talking about, kind of the continuation, continues to rise. And while some of your state funding rises, you know, some of your federal funding, your local funding, you have to kind of find places to be able to make that up. And so I think that's kind of an important piece that is a piece that's going up fairly steadily. And as we'll talk about in just a second, with the COVID money that you all have received, that this retirement rate has continued to go up. And so while you've had an influx of money over the last few years, it's kind of a hit once that influx of money goes, that hits almost a little bit harder. And unfortunately, we don't have any control over that rate. That is set by Raleigh. So in relation to the COVID funds, last year you guys spent approximately about $24 million related to the COVID funds, and as you know, in 2024 that's starting to expire. So from, you know, in discussions you guys have started to pull positions away from that. So just want to make sure you guys are aware, to be conscious of what is getting put into those funds, that those funds are getting ready to come to a close. Looking at page 57. So one of the things that we look at when we're doing our audit is internal controls. So we look at the numbers, we look at internal controls. Was everything filed timely? Was everything, our controls in place to be able to catch issues? Should they come through? Are invoices properly approved? And as we looked at those, we did note two things that were challenges that we wanted to point out for opportunities for improvement. The first one, more details, you don't necessarily need to flip to the page, but more detail, because we're going to flip back and forth for a second. More details on each of them are found on page 67 and 68. But the first one I wanted to bring to your attention on page 67 has to do with some liabilities in the prior year financial statements that needed to be adjusted. And so we made that adjustment, however, because the adjustment needed to be made. What it was is in the prior year statements, it showed a prepaid expense related to the insurance that hadn't actually been prepaid. It had rolled forward for several years, was very consistent for several years. The good part about it is that it's not a finding where no funds were missing, no money went missing, it's not an actual cost to you. It was just a number kind of within your statements that had to be adjusted. So it's not, like I said, there's not an actual cost to it. You all had been getting updates in regards to what the cash balances were. So from my understanding, there's really not a big change in operations, just a change in how one number had to be presented on the statements. The second one had to do with, there's a report that has to be submitted to, it's called the Federal Audit Clearinghouse, basically submitted to the federal government. Your audit has to be turned into them within 30 days or by March 31st. Your audit was turned in by March 31st, but not within 30 days. So we had to report that, but your audit was turned in. There were no issues with the audit that was turned in. It was just the timeline. And those were the only internal control issues we found. So skipping ahead to page 59, as I mentioned, all of the extra federal money. So we look at compliance with the rules and regulations as to how federal money was spent, both new money and money that the district has been receiving for several years in the past. We found no issues with how federal funds were spent, and just kind of wanted to give an extra congratulations on that with the large amount of federal funding that the district received, that we found no issues with non-compliance. The last report on page 62 is the same for state. We also found no issues with how any state funds were spent. They were all, as far as we can tell, were all spent within accordance with state guidelines. And those are the only things that I had intended on going through on the audit, unless anybody has any questions. I would say you guys had a great audit report.
Wasn't the thing that had to be the numbers to prepay, that was involving the months 11 and 12 for 10-month employees covering their summer.
Yes, yeah, it had to do with the summer insurance.
Covering their summer insurance for 10-month employees.
Correct, yes. So it's a little bit weird how it hits with the 10-month employees when they get paid versus when the insurance gets paid.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, it's good to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Todd, I noticed you're extra nice with her, helping her. I mean, that's,
I wouldn't get Steve's back.
That's a good move, Todd.
It's a good move. Steve, I'll be waking up about
Yeah.
Okay. So, per board policy 6420, hold on a second. I have to use these now. So we have 8 contracts, expenditures this month that exceed the $50,000 amount, so these are for your information. The first one is Freeman Ford. We purchased another maintenance truck, $53,905 was the cost on that one. The next one was Dell Marketing, Chromebooks to be distributed to all schools, $363,166. That's a state contract purchase, that's why I did not need your approval. Browse Oil and Gas Incorporated, fuel oil for schools, $84,619.73. The next 3 are, let me do the first one. White's International Trucks, that's a blanket purchase order for $65,000 for replacement parts for buses. The next 2 are yellow bus replacements. So we have the first one, White's International Trucks, 4 yellow buses, $560,090. The next one is Gregory Pool, 1 yellow bus, $150,875. And remember, those are lease purchases. So we're not actually, that money comes from the state to make those lease payments. So that money's not hitting our general ledger or our bottom line.
Why do we use 2 different vendors? Something different in the buses, because I averaged that one out and it was like $10,000.
Wendy, when the bus is replaced, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong here, when the bus is replaced, she goes to the mechanics who are gonna be working on the new bus and lets them have input on what type of bus is replaced with. So where we get a report that says bus X, Y, and Z have to come off the road because of age or miles, and that's something that's we've been doing for a while now. If Dale's a mechanic and Dale's losing one of his buses in the fleet he's maintaining, then Wendy talks with him and what are you the most comfortable working on of these different options? So that's all that's where contract. So yeah, all the 3 companies are under state contract, so that's where that lands.
I'm just asking, if you average the 4 out, it's like $10,000 difference.
Yeah. Why does that one bus cost more than the others do?
Which one was it?
That one from Gregory Pool.
That's probably an EC with a lid.
That's why I was wondering if it was the EC bus.
Yeah, it is. The Bluebird is an EC bus. Is that Gregory Pool?
Yeah.
Yes, the Bluebird We had one Bluebird EC bus that was purchased.
Okay,
And we
the cost
had-
difference then.
And actually, those two of the internationals are, two of the internationals, which is White's, two of those were EC buses too, so that spiked it a little bit too. The other two internationals are Ashburn City buses, right Larry? Is that correct? Those 4 internationals bought, and, those, 2 of those came from Ashburn City's purchase. They were not EC, they were full size.
You still doing that math to make sure make sure everything's on the up and up, that they're not getting any
But
more.
remember, this
We
is,
still got our math.
Okay. That's where them X, Ys and all can come in.
Yeah, but remember, this money comes.
I am really shocked though that, I mean, I get it, but
And then what do we do with the buses we take off the road? Do we sell?
Yeah, but they get charged.
Yeah,
Surplus, they go in surplus.
The states puts a price on, we sell for what the state says.
do we get that or do they get?
No, that's their,
Huh?
those are their buses, the yellow buses are the state.
So the money goes back.
No goes back to the state.
But we really,
we're not using our money for this.
I got you.
even when we buy, the money's coming from the state, where it basically just comes through us.
I'm still shocked that we handle their stuff like that. I mean, that's just almost a pet peeve of mine. I mean, it really is.
Other than,
One of them.
Yeah, one of them, I have 2 or 3, but that would crush me.
other than the activity buses, that's not the flow from the state.
Right.
That's all.
We handle their activity buses.
No, I'm just saying,
I mean,
the purchase of them, the reason you don't see activity buses bought with any regularity, because that's what we're able to replace. But the last place I worked, where I was a high school principal, we had to buy schools, we had to buy our own buses, activity buses. Schools had to buy them, so,
Well, we know you get work in Ashburn City.
no.
I second that.
All right, John.
All right, moving on.
I don't know where we were, John, I'm sorry.
All right, we got 2 more real quick. Ren's Eaton Oil, so here's diesel fuel and gasoline. That's a blanket purchase order for $175,000. And the last one is Hardware Distributors LLC, door locking system at Southwest Randolph High School, $88,860.29.
What kind of locking system is that, Larry?
It's, what we've been using, the card access, keypad access.
Does that take care of all the schools now, or is there more?
Oh, no, that's much more.
Larry, didn't we started with Trinity High, then ATMS, Weechmore Middle, now, we did Eastern Randolph third, right?
Right.
Southwest is now, and Randolph High is the next.
The hardware distributor piece is, when you do this with the controlled access, you not only have to put the access system in, there's a lot of upgrades to the doors, especially with those older stores.
You gotta have that card.
Frames, may not be.
Yeah, I've seen them use it at Trinity.
There's a lot of shoulders and door parts and pieces go along, not just the access system.
It's nice, though. I mean, once you get it, it's nice.
Right.
And there are
It does make you feel safe.
2 other vendors involved. This is not the total cost for the entire installation. There's 2 other vendors involved, but those pieces were less than $50,000, so they didn't have to come to.
And we started with our most open campuses, and where we can afford to go over time, but we started with the 5 campuses that we felt were the most open.
Did they install it or we install it?
The companies installed it.
It's the installation.
Some of it will be a joint venture though, as far as pulling wire, communication cable. We'll do that in-house, but the door work and the actual setting up the original system, they do install.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Real quick, before I move on, I'm just gonna take a second, because it involves, basically, I know Todd, Larry, Dale, Marty Trotter when he was here, Dr. Gainey, and I'm sure more people, but, last week I had a customer and they were talking, their church was getting old, members are getting old, the membership has gone down, and it's a prominent church and a big church, but a lot of stuff has gone wrong, and she was talking about, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? You know, we can't afford it, we don't have the members. And it made me think of this, probably one of the smartest things this county ever did was a 9-year plan. I mean, I just wanted to throw that out. I told her about it. I said, well, our school system has a 9-year plan, and I explained how it worked. You know, each year you hit on something, and then you don't get caught with all that, but I was just gonna, you guys that were part of that idea, or ladies, that's probably one of the smartest moves ever happened. You know, I wish, well, we voted on it, I'm sure, but I wish we could take more credit. I didn't think of that. But you guys did a good job. You
This is
really
your
did.
10th,
That's-
and then
yeah, but I can share it with other people. She loved it. I said, this is what you do, you know?
wasn't in place till my second year.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
it
10,
did.
it's the
No,
10th
It's
year of
really
the
the
9-year
18-year
plan.
plan.
It come under your, I never pinned him down to who really thought of it. I won't do that, because if it wasn't you, I don't want to steal none of your credit. But that was a great idea, people working together to come up with a brilliant idea, because that has saved our school. You see it on TV, school systems just, they have bonds to create all the mess they've got, and you guys hit a home run with that. I'm gonna get that steak one way or the other, Beverly, even though you let me down, I brag on them, you know. Okay, moving on. I'm serious about that, though. We need a motion to approve the consent items.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Did you get the second? Did you get the second?
Yeah, Mike,
Yeah, I did.
Mike said.
Yeah, Mike said.
Okay,
Mike
sorry.
was quiet.
Here.
Okay, we're good.
I didn't hear the second.
He said.
She said. All right.
Bishop,
So, okay, we're gonna move along to the action items and Sir Dale Brinkman.
I will do it.
Okay, so good evening, board members. They're passing around the public comments for the traditional calendar.
You read that out loud, or we just gonna read it ourselves? Okay. I don't need to get past the second sentence.
We'll start there too.
Third sentence, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, board members, tonight I bring to you a recommendation to approve the 2024-2025 traditional school calendar second reading. The calendar includes 180 student days, 14 teacher work days, 11 holidays, and 10 annual leave days. The first day for students will be on Monday, August 26, 2024, and the last day for students will be Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. This calendar includes an inclement weather and makeup plan for the first 5 days missed or absorbed, and then days will be made up of schedule. And the calendar committee, they met on January 4th to review public comments and make revisions as needed prior to making a final recommendation for the calendar. I do appreciate the calendar committee and their time and effort in developing the calendar and to ensure that it meets calendar law. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about the calendar recommendation.
Is this the only public comment you got?
That's the only one we have.
Do you think, I mean, it's talking wrong. You know, and I don't know if that'll pass or it's just, you know, they've talked about it before, but the calendar flexibility, if that hits us, we have to, you have to ease into that. I mean, you just can't.
You'd have to.
You have to, you cannot jump and say, boom, you're starting school. I mean, you would get crucified, you know?
Well, when I was asked before, the original thing was gonna be Moore County and Randolph on it.
No statewide.
And now evidently a lot of counties have jumped on it, but, that was my original thing, is if it went through, I'm fine with us being on it, but we need to be able to have some say when we would go to the earlier start, because even that was January, that's too late in the game to tell everybody we're coming back and beginning of August 13, people got plans and all, so, you know, it's just gonna be a matter if it ever goes through, what time of year it goes through. We're gonna be very careful with our staff, because, you know, just
This wouldn't shock them. I mean, you
Yeah, we'd have
have
to
to
have a
ease
lot.
into that. It might be a 3 or 4 year plan.
I'm sure whenever we do it, no one will complain.
No. I mean, the ease into it, I mean, if you. I had
About a year.
Well,
It'll take you a few more flexibility.
you go boom, you're going August 10th, you get killed.
So like this calendar is 2 years out.
This calendar's 2 years out.
I mean, it's
The
2 years.
problem,
2 years out, yeah.
the problem would be that one of the conflicts here will be, when does it get approved? Does it get approved in the budget bill that might be approved in August or September? I mean, when will it get approved? That's gonna play a factor. Does it get approved earlier in the session? Who knows?
It's got more steam this year than
It
it's
It
ever.
does seem to have the most steam,
It
so.
has a lot of counties have joined on, but we'll see where it goes.
It'd be great to have exams done by Christmas and all
What was your
that.
committee's take on it when you would meet with your committee on this? Was any of that ever brought up? Because I know when I was on the calendar committee, we always talked about, why can't we go, why can't we have exams before Christmas? It just makes sense to not have to not think about stuff and then come back and remember it all.
Well, actually, the first committee meeting, I give them the calendar law, and that actually states that we can't start, that we have to start the closest Monday to August 26th, which this calendar happens to be August
Right.
26th. And then, of course, we have to end the closest Friday to June 11th. So you have to work within that parameter. I think there's like 14 states that have a start and stop calendar law that they abide by, so.
But we did talk about that
Yeah.
because there are some high school teachers and people on the committee, and it comes up every time, because I've been on the calendar committee for years, and it always comes
We
up.
appreciate it.
We appreciate
it.
But you may get a break, Shannon just said she liked being on the calendar.
I think that was a permanent appointment.
It always comes up, and we totally agree, because the high school really wants it that way, and we totally agree. But at the same time, we know that you just can't do it like that.
Right.
It's got to be gradual. I mean, one time Randolph County did it that way, when my girls were in school. They finished before then, and it was wonderful, because then vacation was vacation. You didn't worry about it, like they study anyway, those 2 weeks around Christmas. But you're not gonna be able to do it like that. You're gonna have to, and I hope we just have, if it passes, that we do have that flexibility to choose, okay, we'll go back a little bit earlier this year, a little bit, then finally get to that point. Might take several years.
That's the way it reads now.
But we had the rules of what the state is now, so that's why we had to stick to
That's right.
that.
Yeah, the only time we would have started sooner is if we had a waiver, due to, 8 days of, missing
Right.
days of weather.
Right, yeah.
24, 25. We ain't doing 25, 26.
I guess the biggest complaint I hear is the start date right after Christmas, not having a work day. I don't think they had one this year. Is that right?
Actually,
Yeah, we.
we've got one. And that varies, again, the way the start date falls, and you get the days in for the semester. I know, like this particular one, if we put a work day in, we'd be coming back on a Friday. So, the committee felt like that was gonna be a really low attendance day, everybody coming back on Friday after being out.
Yeah, that's what people don't, here, here at the calendar committee, because I said before, we're sitting here looking 2 years out. This parent here is only looking at what's gonna happen this year. And I know you got so many work days and all this stuff by state law, you got to plan in that calendar.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't see all that, and that's why they don't realize why you gotta start when you got the end and everything.
And some years, we do actually have a work day after Christmas break. It just depends on how it falls on the calendar.
This calendar has a teacher work day in February and March, which the one we're on right now does not.
Right.
So,
And that was another thing on this particular calendar. I thought the committee did a great job of having, work days spread out through the year. You give more breaks. There's at least a holiday, annual leave day, or work day each month.
Now, was this put in, was the classes that they've had where You know, they didn't have to go
Oh,
after
early
school.
release, you're talking about early release.
Yeah, where they could go to those classes, you know.
The elementary teachers.
Yeah.
No,
No,
we're,
you're putting in.
we're waiting on the, like, it's not even in next year's calendar yet. When Kathy and Lynette Graves
Make
get
up the schedule.
the information for those 8 sessions the elementary want to do, and somewhere, as soon as we can bring you some recommended for early release dates like we put in this year, we will. But they're not in any of the calendars, because we don't know what the state's gonna
Because we
approve
talked
for our
about that,
letters, the letters training yet.
When the spring break
But
started
letters
this year.
training is over next year. It's only
31st
2
of March.
years.
I think that's the last day. Don't we get out that Friday? And then I think Friday's the last day. So, Mr. Sink, we'll be like we did last summer, hopefully we can do it earlier. But as soon as we get our schedule approved by the state for the letters training for next year, we're gonna bring you 4 early release date recommendations, like we've done this year.
So we have, how many early release this year with letters? We have 4?
4.
You have any of them in March, or is it finished?
There's one more, March 16th. And March 16th is the last, March is the last 2 sessions for this year. That's session 7 and 8, right? Is that right, Kevin? Yeah, we had paired them up. We had tried to pair them up wherever there was months with 2, and I think that should be, I may be missing something, but I think March is it.
So we'll have more days, like, since we didn't have any kind of inclement weather, or we haven't so far, there'll be a little more instructional time this year, for like 4 days, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's always a good thing.
It's always
we
a
don't
good
use any
thing.
weather
Yeah.
days. It's always good.
Hey, man, it ain't over yet.
It ain't over yet.
Thursday's
know
gonna
right
start,
now.
it's starting over
All
at 50.
all I can
It ain't over
tell
yet.
y'all is I looked at the end of February, and that thing is gonna be 80.
It's not over yet. It'll probably have put
No
snow
snowflakes on the way.
since I started, said what I said tonight, wait and see.
Yeah, come March, it's gonna be snowing.
Yeah.
Dale's gonna be out here at 3 o'clock in the morning, wanting to know why I'm not awake, and I'm gonna think it's already.
Ain't
It's
that
already
coming in,
spring.
maybe early hurricanes?
Okay, so,
It's pretty lonely out there on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning.
especially if it's slick.
Dale won't call me on his phone, no one calls me, I'm driving around by myself.
Larry, they forgot about you, didn't they?
Oh, Larry don't call me, Larry waits to the end of the decision-making process, we all go in different directions.
But Larry's out there pretty early, aren't you? And won't that Ford go better than the Chevrolet? See, that's what I'm thinking. That is, that weight, you got, just 2 long boxes.
We got Boy Scouts got class tomorrow.
Need a motion to approve the 24-25 school calendar.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you, board members.
So, you wanna move on to the early
Yes.
college?
Yes, sir. So I also bring to you the recommendation to approve the 2023 and 2024 school calendar for Randolph Early College High School. The calendar includes 180 student days, 15 teacher work days, 11 holidays, and 10 annual leave days. The Randolph Early College High School calendar aligns with the Randolph Community College schedule. Early college programs have flexibility with their calendar guidelines that traditional schools do not. I'll be glad to answer questions you may have about the Randolph Early College High School recommended calendar. And I also appreciate the principal, Ms. Grosh, for her help in developing the calendar.
Any questions on that one? So we need a motion to approve the 2023-2024 school calendar for the Randolph Early College High School.
So moved.
Have a second?
And a second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Okay. So, board members, I bring to you a recommendation to approve the Local Foods for Schools grant in accordance with policy 8220. Since this grant exceeds $5,000, I am requesting that the board approve the school system's acceptance of this grant in the amount of $57,965.95, which will fund the additional purchase of locally sourced food to be used toward school meals. And Mr. Cook, you mentioned this earlier in the board meeting, but I really appreciate Ms. Green and her staff for their great stewardship of the school nutrition budget. And they utilize a lot of different grants and funding sources to stretch the dollars in that budget. And I also appreciate Ms. Green being here tonight to help answer any questions you may have about the grant.
Yeah, Kelly, who approves the local vendors you get from? You do, or?
Yeah, I do. For this particular grant, we were planning on using the North Carolina Farm to School program through, NCDA, to purchase local ground beef. But yes, we have the ability, as long as we procure it correctly, we can, get it from the vendor.
You know, just make sure they don't sound like it's local, then somebody from the state tells you where to buy it from, you know.
Yeah, and the griddle beef in particular, we've purchased it in the past, and it's a really good product, so that's why we went that direction with that program.
And a lot of stuff is made from scratch now, isn't it?
A lot.
You hear a lot, I mean, and the nutrition staff, I mean, you have to, there's not a whole lot of them out there working in the school, and for them to go in and, I mean, you know, I mean, they're not shorthanded, but they do so much. I guess they are shorthanded at a point.
Yes, they are.
But I'm talking, when you think of what, 2 people at Farmer, maybe, or 3, but 3 at most places, and you're cooking from scratch for that many people, that says a lot. I mean, that's a good job. And the food, you
My
know,
wife cooked for me.
we used to, yeah, I mean, you don't hear you used to hear complaints a little bit about, you know, and, I'm thinking about your spaghetti now. But overall, I mean, you don't hear that now. People talk about how
Made from scratch.
good the food is and all, you know. I mean, thank God I'm not cooking it. But anyway, we appreciate all that.
And Ms. Good, that's one thing, DPI was here last spring, and that was one thing they noted, was the amount of scratch food items that they do make.
That's awesome. Okay. So we need a motion to accept the local food from schools grant for the school system in the amount of $57,965.95.
So moved.
Have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right.
Okay, board members, the last item I bring to you is a recommendation to approve the Center for Safer Schools Safety Grant for additional school resource officers. In accordance with policy 8220, since this grant exceeds $5,000, I'm requesting that the board approve the school system's acceptance of this grant in the amount of $176,000, which will fund 4 additional school resource officers. And I do want to appreciate Beth Davis, I think she's here, for her help with the documentation and submitting the grant application in the NCDPI CCIP portal. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about the grant.
So currently they are not in our elementary schools, right, SROs?
I think we've got 3 that have
But not
been.
full-time, they kind of float around?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're assigned more.
There's some.
Okay,
4, you know,
I
and
think the 4th one starts next week.
is it
Okay.
5 in one place and the others have 4 each?
okay.
So,
And when this grant runs out,
So we have to submit a mid-year report and then an end-of-year report, which we just submitted the mid-year report. As long as we submit that documentation, then we get the $176,000 again for next school year.
Great.
Wow.
you want to vote on that one? We'll take it.
Is it continuous for every year, or just 2 years, or?
Right now, it's just this year and next year. That's part of the reason we submit this documentation, is they go back to legislators and ask for additional funding, for continuing funding, or reoccurring funding.
Yeah, if you remember, you know, when we was talking to our commissioners, we were discussing
Yeah.
the cost of that, because, like, you know, several years ago, we was hit one time for $500,000 for our SROs. We just,
Yeah.
And this is strictly earmarked just for elementary school?
Yes.
Okay, we need a motion to accept the Center for Safer School Safety Grant for an additional school resource officers for the school system in the amount of $176,000.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second,
Okay,
President.
all those in favor say aye.
thank you, did.
Thank you very much, Dale.
Thank you, Board
And
members.
you know, several years ago, you never heard of, honestly, a grant being written basically in the school
No, aren't
system.
we
You
thankful for
never,
grants?
so I know
We
you're,
have wonderful grant
several
writers.
people out there write grants, do that on the extra bed tables. I know your name's been tied to more than one. And anyone else with child nutrition and, anybody else here, that I know, I think there's several people, but I'll miss their names, but we hear about it, and that's great that you guys go out and do that and all, and we benefit, and that's something that kind of goes on behind the scenes that people don't think about. Thank you. All right, Jan.
The Randolph County Board of Education will enter into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute and to preserve the attorney-client privilege to discuss confidential personnel matters protected by the North Carolina General Statute.
All right, we have the motion, have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Yes, sir.
Kathy, you want to sleep where you can?
Oh, well. Drinking a coffee and wake her back up.
Action.
We good?
Good.
I'm already
Okay. Need a motion to approve the personnel report to include classified personnel report, certified personnel report, and the superintendent's recommendations.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we need a motion to adjourn the
So
meeting.
moved.